Welcome back, everyone. We're here today on a brand new Mindset and Motivation Monday, hopefully bringing forward a topic that you're going to be able to journal on, think on, and begin to act on over this next week. Today's topic, how to create any life you want within 12 months. Why this came about, why this is so important to me, is that I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, a good friend. And so I was able to really give a lot of pushback as to their thoughts. We were chatting and they were telling me that they really don't want to make a move. They don't want to buy a house. They don't want to really think about anything for 2 years. They said that they don't believe that they're going to be in a headspace or place to make any decision within 2 years because they don't know what the economy looks like. They don't know what politics is going to look like. They don't know what finances are going to look like. They don't know health. They don't know any of those things. And so I said to them, okay, so you're telling me right now that you are essentially going to you're going to wish away for the next 2 years of your life? That you're going to live in a state of uncertainty for 2 years, a state of anxiety about the future, because you believe that 2 years from now, you'll then have all of those answers? And I said, why do you believe that you'll have all of those answers 2 years from now? And so they gave me a reason. I said, okay, fair enough. And I said, I just want to ask you, do you believe that you felt like you had all the answers 2 years ago? And they said, no, I didn't. How about 2 years before that? No? How about 2 more years before that? How about 10 years before that? And the answer is ultimately no. We never believe that we have all the facts for what we need about what the future will hold. And I was giving that pushback to this person. I can be very strong in those ways that I do that, but not because I don't care, but because I do care so much that if you are someone that is a family member, is a friend of mine, is a private wellness client, is that I want the best for you. And, to quote one of my favorite quotes, the future is no place to place your better days. If you believe that your best life is in front of you, great. But I would ask you this, good, so do I. So do I. I'm going to live like that hopefully the rest of my life. But what are you doing right now in order to work to it? Because the person that I was chatting with, they were living in fear. They were worried about schools for the kids, home market. They were worried about finance. They were worried about all those things. And again, legitimate worries. Not. But you cannot give up you moving forward with your life and living your best life because of what may happen in the future. I tell this to people all the time as well. You've gotten to where you are today, going through the same level of hardships, most likely, that you will go through in the future. And you'd say, well, that doesn't sound all that fantastic. No, it is. Because whatever hardships you went through in the past make the hardships of the future much easier. You've already been through them. You've literally been desensitized. I say that all the time, like with growing a global functional-based company that's never been done before, shipping labs and protocols to 27 different countries, we uncover all sorts of hardships all the time. Things that we never discovered because it's never been done. Okay, but what can we do? We can lean on all of the other different challenges and obstacles and hardships we had before and say, yeah, we don't have the answer to this one yet. We're going to figure it out. We've got the team that's dedicated to doing it, and if you're dedicated, you're going to make it happen as well. So I want you to think about that as we're going through the different steps I want to take you through today, and there's just about 5 of them in order to be able to create any life you want over the next 12 months. And I don't want you to wait because the life that you're going to have 12 months from now, it doesn't happen in 12 months. It actually happens tomorrow and it happens the next day because you don't all of a sudden arrive. You've just taken a step each day on the path to arriving at the end of 12 months. And you can't take all of those steps in the very last month or even the very last 2 months. The truth is that you don't actually see the whole picture. It never unfolds to you until you take that first step. The second step, okay, after you take the second step, the third step unfolds. So the truth is that none of us are ever going to have the life that we want, achieve our true potential if we don't simply get started. So what do? Well, the very first thing that you need to do in order to create anything that you want in your life is to do what people often call as a life audit. I'll probably do this in greater detail, but to simplify it, you want to look at what I call the big 5 areas of your life, not to be confused with the big 5 labs. The big 5 areas are your relationships, right? So family, your relationships, how are those, right? You can just grade them. You can look at them however you want to do, right? You can look at your career or finances, again, however you want to look at that. You can look at your health, then you look at your body, the vessel that's carrying you through this life, and then you can look at your overall spirituality. And I would equate that to your connectedness, your purpose, your feeling for being here, right? For why are you here? And I think that has to be strong as well. Now, if you're looking at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and I have a podcast on that, we'll try to link it up today at stephencabral.com/2404. is that usually the self-actuation and that sense of purpose or enlightenment doesn't come until you reach all of the others. So what I'm saying to you right now is maybe it takes so long to reach that point of self-actualization, of higher level of connectedness, if you haven't met the rungs before that. There's about 4 rungs before that. So I'll share that podcast as well. But you basically want to do an audit, because I'll tell you right now, most people are good in 2 to 3 areas, right? So they might be really, like a lot of people maybe in our community, they are maybe they're good in their relationships. Nobody's perfect. So let's not pretend that we're trying to reach perfection. Let's reach good, all right? Let's reach great, like that we enjoy it, but not perfect, right? There's no perfect, because we're humans interacting with humans. So that's the tricky part, right? It's not just you interacting with you, although oftentimes I'm sure that would be more challenging than even interacting with other humans. But let's look at it this way. Let's say you're doing pretty well right now, overall spirituality, overall relationships, and maybe your overall career or finances. All right. But maybe you're working on your health, and maybe you're working on your body. And you might say the two are even maybe a little connected, but I wouldn't say that that's necessarily the truth for all people, because a lot of people can be in the shape that they want to be. And that's leading them to not be in pain and to have a good quality of movement around life and not feeling overall strained. But then you can still have health-based issues. So I think it's important to qualify and clarify between the two different areas there. So those might be the two that you're working on. For others, might have your health, might have the body that you want, and may have the spirituality, but you're really working on relationships and finances. So you kind of have to think about that. And then what I always tell people, as you begin to go through that audit, you have to say to yourself, if I can only do one of these though, what's the one that I'm going to work on? And to make it really easy, it should be the one that keeps you up at night. It should be the one that bothers you the most. You need to be at peace in your life. If you can't find peace, it's very difficult to achieve everything else that you want. You'll never be fully happy. You could have all the money you want in the world. You can have the great relationships, but you'll never be happy if you're not at peace. You need to be at peace with yourself. A lot of this has to do with you, and that's bringing me to my second point. So again, choose the one. Doesn't matter what other people's opinion is. Choose the one that keeps you up at night. All right. So that's what we're going to work on first. The second is this: understand that you probably have everything that you need in order to have the life that you want. Now, that may, at face value, you'd say, well, that doesn't necessarily make sense because I need X amount of money or I need to find the right partner. I understand that. But I bet that you are smart enough right now, and I bet you have enough potential in you in order to learn the things that you need to learn in order to find the right partner, in order to get the career boost or whatever it might be. Like, I just think that you're able to do that, right? So if you're able to do it, you're able to read the book, take the course, find the coach, find the practitioner, whatever it might be. If you're able to do those things and invest in yourself, it might be a $15 book, it might be a $500 course, it might be a, I don't even know, $5,000 coach. But if you're able to do one of those things and move forward, I think that you're going to be able to find the answers that you search for. Certainly if you commit to it, right? So really then what are we talking about? Well, if you're smart enough and you have the potential to be able to do it, why haven't you done it? And it really comes back to, it's simply a mindset shift. It's not, I would like to have, right? So you would like to have this type of health. You'd like to have these types of finances. You'd like to be in that type of relationship. Okay, so you'd like to have it. But like is the problem. Right? Even want is the problem. The thing that is going to get you is that you are going to achieve this, that you are willing to do whatever it takes in order to make that happen. So it's truly a mindset shift, because you can make it happen. You really can. But it has to become a strong enough priority that you're willing to work towards it. Because if you're not willing to work towards it, the truth is that even if you got it, it wouldn't stick. It's probably not going to stick. Because if, let's say you find the right partner, right? You find that perfect person and things are going great, but you were working harder in the beginning and then you just kind of let it go. So there wasn't as much of those, personalized moments. You weren't showing up. You weren't being fully present. It's going to be a problem in the long run, right? So you have to be willing to work for it. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that you have to be fully committed to it. You have to be truly wanting whatever this thing is. So if you don't truly want it, I wouldn't even set it as a goal. Because it's just going to become disappointing. Because you're going to try something, it's going to work maybe for a while, and then it doesn't. Well, why? What happens when it doesn't work? What do you do? Right? What do you do? Do you stop? Do you give up? Do you say, oh, that goal wasn't for me? I wasn't smart enough, didn't have the potential? That's not it. It's a mindset shift. It's the understanding that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time because you're fully committed to it. So that's the second step. Get fully committed. The second one is I need you to know what you're moving towards. I need you to have that bright light, right? I need you to know what it is that makes this goal so special. How will that affect your life? Why will it make you feel complete? Why will it make you feel whole? Why does it bring you joy, peace, happiness? You need to create that vision, because when things do get challenging, because, newsflash, right? There are obstacles and challenges in life that you're going to be able to overcome them. When the program seems to come to a screeching halt, what do? Do you just say it didn't work, or do you make a few adjustments, right? I mean, that's that mindset shift. But the thing is this, if you know what your end goal is, and that's a bright enough vision for your future, you'll make it happen. You'll stick with it. Sure, you might, sulk and feel bad for a couple days. You're human. It happens. But do you get back on that horse and get started again? That's what matters. Honestly, that's the only thing that matters. Anything that I've ever tried, I'm 100% sure, there's no way I got it right the first time. 100% sure, right? But what did I do? I said, and especially with my health, right? That was the most stubborn of them all. It took 10 years. That's a lot of stubbornness, right? But I had an end goal. I had a vision. I wasn't willing to compromise. I was not willing to compromise for a life of fatigue, immune system issues, and just walking around like a zombie. I was not willing to live that life. So I stuck with it. Many relapses, many dark moments, but eventually I got there. And so will you. You'll be able to do it much faster, because the truth is, this isn't the late 90s, and you have a lot more access to information than I did. We'll put it that way. I had to read books and more books, and that is a time-consuming process. Now, it led me and forged me to who I am today, so no complaints. And I also got to try hundreds of things that didn't work, right? So now I know a whole lot of things that don't work and how to combine them better. So again, sometimes, and I'll pull this together at the end, that is what matters. All right, after you have that vision that I've talked about before, it's just working every single day. I used to say, feel free to take off time and regroup and rest and recuperate. It's not the case anymore. I really believe that you need to imprint this on your mind, on your nervous system. So the mind is, let's say, here in the head, and the nervous system is the body. I need the head talking to the body every single day and fully committed to that goal. That means you craft a schedule, craft a life that works for you. Go back, check out my podcast on throwing away your to-do list. It's one of my favorite podcasts because it's one of the most applicable. You need to make sure that each and every day you're dedicating 30 minutes to whatever it is that you're looking to do. An hour would be better. 2 30-minute slots would certainly be better, but 30 minutes will do. It's enough time to be able to focus the mind on a particular vision for your life. It has to be daily. One of the great things about a vision board or journaling, if you do it daily and you look at that vision board daily, what does it do? It just recalibrates your mind to look for those specific opportunities on a daily basis. Plus, it works on problem solving that thing that you're looking to achieve on a daily basis. If you want to lose weight, if you want to get healthy, what you need to do is focus on that on a daily basis. You can't take days off. You really can't. You can't take weeks off, that's for sure. You're just going to get set back to the beginning. So what you need to do is look at that daily. Now, a lot of people might take it to the extreme. Are you telling me I'm supposed to work out daily? Well, maybe. If you taking 2 days off in a row sets you back and you're not able to get back in your schedule, yes, you should work out daily. But it just means that just ramp down your workouts, meaning like you could do 20 to 30 minutes a day instead of an hour every other day. Like if you stay more consistent with 20 to 30 minutes, good. Do 20 to 30 minutes. Your body can handle that. It can absolutely handle that. And if it feels like too much in your body, you're just doing too much. Like you can certainly dedicate the time, but instead of using weights, you can do body weight. Instead of doing body weight, that doesn't work. You can do some cardio. And if you can't do cardio, you can walk. Right? And if you can't do walking, get on an exercise bike and just move your legs. Like you can do something, and that keeps you dedicated to moving forward on a daily basis. That's the commitment that I'm looking for from you, right? You can read and educate yourself daily, and you can also do whatever action it is within 30 minutes a day. Now, are you going to get there as fast with just 30 minutes a day? No, but we're giving you some time, right? We're giving you time to move forward to achieving anything you want within a year's time. Because if you're dedicating 30 minutes a day to whatever it is for a full year, you don't think you could achieve any goal you're looking for? I find it radically hard to believe that you couldn't. I really find that very, very difficult to say that you're not going to achieve it. And the last part is this, that as I said in the very beginning, the time is going to pass anyway. So the longer you take to start on your big goals for your life, the further you're pushing off your best days. Because your best days are going to come Not necessarily from the achievement of that goal. It will feel good. There's no doubt about it. But what feels really good is the self-actualization of actually doing the thing that you need to do that is hard in order to overcome current life obstacles to achieve the life that you want. So the same thing that I said to my friend who's looking to put off life for 2 years and just worry about housing markets, schools, politics, economy, etc., is to say, okay, you don't make careless decisions, but do begin to move forward with your life, because we don't know what 2 years from now brings to us. So what I want you to do right now is not put all of your best days into the future, because that's not promised. I don't know if your future has been promised to you. Mine hasn't been promised to me. So what I need to do is start living my best life right now. Again, not carelessly, but beginning to do that self-audit and to beginning to create that powerful, powerful vision for what it is that I want, understanding that it's a mindset shift, because if we're only looking for 30 minutes a day or 2 30-minute blocks in order to be able to move forward towards the life that we want, the hopes, the dreams, the goals that we have, we know that it's going to happen over time. It's inevitable. Your goals and you reaching your potential are absolutely limitless. And you just have to keep in mind that with that 30 minutes a day, everything that you want to achieve, all your hopes, all your goals, all your dreams, that it is an absolute inevitability. With that amount of time over the course of a year, you can achieve everything that you've been looking for. Although the best time to get started is today, meaning that you can plan and plan and plan, and a lot of people do, right? You can start to journal for the next 2-3 months, and I'm not against that. But what really matters at the end is you deciding your definiteness of purpose, you deciding on one thing that you're going to go for, and honestly committing to persevering through it. And by the end of a year, I would love to hear your success story. That would mean the world to me. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's Mindset and Motivation Monday. Always great to start the week with you. As always, if the show was helpful, please do feel free to share it with anyone you believe it could serve.